you can confirm then that your role as Hamas is over?
He's going to give you whatever placement answer he has.
And I have to be honest with you and with your audience. And I have always be very open and frank in answering questions. No one can deny us the right to resist by all means, including armed resistance. We can offer any other modality like a Hudna or a ceasefire for 5, 6, 7, 10 years.
It sounds very similar to the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, which Muhammad has signed with the Quraysh tribe, but broke it after 2 years when he realized they were weak enough for him to attack. Very similar. Hamas is not looking for long-lasting peace. They're looking to destroy the Jewish state, just like we've said since the beginning. Hi guys, this is Sahar TV, and in today's video we will see a Hamas official thanking Donald Trump for coordinating this peace deal between Israel and Hamas. Let's watch.
I believe without the personal interference of President Trump, after giving Netanyahu the chances one after one to fulfill or to finish the job, and he failed at the end to finish the job according to his criteria, the so-called absolute victory, without the personal interference of President Trump. In this case, I don't think that it would happen to reach this end, the end of the war. Therefore, yes, we thank President Trump and his personal efforts to interfere and to pressure Israel to make an end of this massacre and slaughtering.
It's funny because Israel has offered a ceasefire many times for the dismantling of Hamas and the release of the hostages. But now when Israel finally went into the last stronghold of Hamas, all of a sudden they cave and break? Why would they? Because they're weak. They have nowhere to run.
You have also called on President Trump to ensure that the Israeli government, Benjamin Netanyahu, sticks to its obligations. Do you trust that President Trump will do that and will continue the pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu?
Look, when it comes to Benjamin Netanyahu, we don't trust him at all, and his government and his state. We have a long experience with undermining and sabotaging agreements with the Palestinians, not only with Hamas. I'm talking about decades of sabotaging agreements with the Palestinians and even with other countries, which has already signed with Israel the so-called normalization agreement.
It's very funny that he's saying that because every single ceasefire that we had with Hamas was broken by Hamas.
Therefore, yes, we believe and we hope that President Trump continue to interfere personally and to exercise the maximum pressure on Netanyahu to fulfill its obligation, first as according to the deal, and second, according to the international law as an occupying power.
Like Hamas cares about international law. It's against international law to invade a sovereign country and kill innocent civilians, abduct innocent civilians, and not release those innocent civilians, and of course hiding behind civilians in tunnels. Yeah, that's the terrorist organization that's preaching to us about international law. Got you.
Because I think without this pressure, without this personal interference from President Trump, this would not happen.
How will you ensure that the fighters, the Hamas fighters in Gaza, will abide by this ceasefire as well and won't trigger a breakdown of this ceasefire?
I have no doubt that they will stick to the deal and fulfill their obligations accordingly. I hope that the Israelis will do this.
Just to be clear, the Trump plan does say that Hamas will have no role in governing the future of Gaza. So you can confirm then that your role as Hamas is over?
Look,
he's not going to answer that for sure. He's going to give you whatever placement answer he has.
And I have to be honest with you and with your audience. And I have always be very open and frank in answering questions. Therefore, yes, we are ready to hand over government. We are ready to be totally away from any government or governing body. But when it comes to Hamas as an entity, as a Palestinian liberation movement, I think no one can overcome or exclude Hamas. Hamas is also present in the West Bank. Hamas is present in Jerusalem.
Oh, Hamas are present in the West Bank? So to the people saying that Hamas is not in the West Bank, they're lying? Of course they're in the West Bank.
In the diaspora. Therefore, Hamas is not only the government in Gaza. And therefore, yes, we are ready to leave the government for a Palestinian body, but we are still there on the ground.
Ah, so you're not disarming. Got you. Okay. So Hamas is staying. All right.
And what about disarming? Because you're talking about a political ideology, but there's also calls for Hamas to completely disarm itself. Is that something that Hamas is willing to do?
First of all, I have said all other points except the issues or topics related to the first phase, end of the war, withdrawal, prisoner exchange and aid. This is part of the second or third, I don't know how many phases, but this has to be discussed. And this question is belonging to these phases. And this has to be discussed with all other Palestinians about the future of our strategy to struggle for freedom and independence.
What have I told you? You gave us a bullshit answer.
Up to that point, no one can deny us the right to resist by all means, including armed resistance. We can offer any other modality like a Hudna or a ceasefire for 5, 6, 7, 10 years where arms are stand still. We can think with other Palestinian resistance movement, with Arabic countries, with Islamic countries, how to guarantee a period of 5, 10 years, a time, space to found the Palestinian state.
It sounds very similar to the Treaty of Hudaybiyah, which Muhammad has signed with the Quraysh tribe, but broke it after 2 years when he realized they were weak enough for him to attack. Very similar. Hamas is not looking for long-lasting peace. They're looking to destroy the Jewish state, just like we've said since the beginning.
But what we have said many times,
So just to be clear, though,
weapons
Dr.
are going to be handed
Wait, woman. The Muslim person is speaking, and he's not going to let you finish because you're a woman.
over only to the hands of a Palestinian state. And our fighters can be integrated into the Palestinian National Army. Before that, no one has the right to deny us the right to resist the occupation by all means.
now you're saying you don't want to and you will not disarm.
If you ask it directly, yes, we are not going to be disarmed as long as we are not sure that this will lead by any other means.
A Hamas official telling you that they're not going to disarm. Just like we've said since the beginning, Hamas is bullshitting the crap out of us.
To have an independent, self-sovereign state which is able to defend itself. Second, there are other modalities. By the way, if the question, this question is again unfair question. This question has to be directed to the aggressor, to the criminal who committed the genocide.
Which is Hamas, who committed the genocide on October 7th, right?
As you have done with the Nazis after the World War II.
Therefore, it has... Dr. Bassem, this is part of the deal, though. This is written very clearly as part of Donald Trump's 20-point plan.
We are not part of the whole deal. We have accepted the first phase, which is including end of the war, prisoner exchange, withdrawal, and aid. The rest of the points is belonging to the whole Palestinian political arena and all other factions. They have to discuss it together and to find ways how can we move forward by our struggle for freedom and independence. During this time, we can find a lot of modalities to have to lie our weapons down, to have a ceasefire, 5-10 years, to have a truce, to have any way of controlling this portfolio. But again, this is a genuine right of Palestinian people, and no one can deny us. If this question has to be directed, it has to be directed to the aggressor, and he has to be disarmed. His nuclear weapons, chemical weapons, biological weapons, which has been already used in the Gaza Strip and other areas during this war.
No, none of that was used, but just to explain exactly what he's saying. So Israel must disarm. So during that 5 to 10 year ceasefire period, we can attack them. And because they're not going to have any weapons, we're going to be able to complete the genocide. Okay? That's what he wants. So this video proves to you that Hamas has no intention for a long-lasting peace, just like we have told you. Otherwise, they would have disarmed and even get themselves removed out of the Gaza Strip, but they won't do that. They are denying to not resist. Yeah, October 7th was resistance. So this Hamas official is confirming in this video that nothing will stop them from resisting, meaning October 7th can happen again. Hamas is caving in right now because they're weak. They were about to get wiped out. And because of the military pressure that Israel has posed on the Gazans and on Hamas, that's why we got this peace deal. Not only because of Donald Trump. He's not the only person that should be given credit. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget, Hamas is bullshitting you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to watch more of my stuff, please check out my channel down below. If you like what you see, don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit that notification button so you can be notified every time I upload new content. If you'd like to support me and the channel financially, you can do that using Buy Me Coffee or Patreon down in the links below. Also, we now have a Discord that you can join down in the link below. And now you can become a YouTube member and enjoy